Hey guys! So I hope you can hear me okay out here. I had actually recorded this video before, but there was a huge echo where I did it, so I'm gonna do this out here and hopefully it will be mostly quiet and the lighting will be okay. So I'm Nicole Gill. You may have found me through hashtags, through Instagram about Qsymia, and if you're watching this, it's probably because you had a Qsymia question and you sent it to me and I sent you this link. So I figured it was easier, for me to do this video because I get a lot of the same question and I never mind answering questions. I'm very open about my Qsymia journey, but I get a lot of the same questions. So I thought that I would do one video to kind of answer the ones that I get most frequently, and then if you have more, if you have a follow-up question or you just want to talk about something, send that to me and then we can chat about that. Hopefully my battery will hold. So I started Qsymia last February, at the end of last February of 2018. I was 180 pounds. I'm about 5'3" 3/4-ish, 5'4", and between the end of February, so like February 20th through the first week of August, I lost 52 pounds. I actually got down to about 127 or so, and that was a little too thin. My collarbones were like, they were like this, like all the time. They were like this giant hole here. My husband's like, "Yeah, that's really gross." So I intentionally gained back about 8. And then I've hovered in that range, like within a 5-pound radius, a 5-pound window of 135 for since then, since August. So about around a size 6. That's my comfort zone, between somewhere between a 4 and an 8. So a comfy 6 is where my body is happiest. So, and that's just maintaining everything that I did, you know, the habits I developed while I was on the Qsymia. So for me, my problem before I went on Qsymia was I was a compulsive eater, where I didn't just stop eating when I was full. I had to eat until my mouth was full, until my soul was full. Like, I couldn't just eat a brownie and like, oh, that was delicious, stop eating. I had to eat the entire pound of brownies. Or, you know, the kids would finish eating and their food is still all over the place, and I'm like, well, we can't let that go to waste. So I'm eating my food, and then I'm eating their leftovers, and I'm eating all the goldfish, and then it was a handful here. And it was just constant eating. Even if I felt like I was going to be sick, I would still eat. So I needed something that would turn my brain off. I decided not to go to my primary care doctor, because every time you go to your primary care doctor, they're like, let's do diet and exercise. Have you tried this? Have you tried keto? Have you tried whatever? And I'm like, if diet and exercise work for me, I would be thin by now, because I have been dieting and exercising since I, you know, was 12 years old. I don't want to do that anymore. I need something that works at my brain level. And I was talking to the lady that does my Botox, and she said, I was like, I just need something to turn my brain off. And she was like, you know, something like that exists. And I was like, no, everybody would know about it if it did. And so we were talking, and she actually was the nurse practitioner for this weight loss clinic. And she was like, yeah, we have a sleep apnea clinic, and we couldn't keep sending our patients out when they needed help with weight loss, so we opened this clinic, and there are several medications. There's Contrave, there's Qsymia, there's one that starts with an O, you know, there's all these different things. So anyway, we talked about what would work best for me, and I found Qsymia. So the main question that I get is, what can I expect? What are the side effects? There are lots of side effects. If you read them, it's everything from constipation to you will be blind and die. So you kind of have to decide how scared you're going to be of the medication. For me, the worst side effect I had was dry mouth, and it lasted for about 2 months. When you have dry mouth, you drink lots of water. That was really it. Like, with my job, I have to do some public speaking, and so sometimes I had to have water right beside me when I was speaking. Like, that was my worst side effect. I don't know anybody that's had significant side effects. You know, I've referred a lot of people to this medication, and they've had great success with it. And I had one friend who did get like a kidney infection, and she had to go off of it, and that was really it. Some people say that they have difficulty sleeping. It does have a stimulant in it. Some people say they have difficulty sleeping. I actually slept better. I slept so much better when I was on it. I would go to sleep at a normal time. I'm pretty much an insomniac, but I slept so much better while I was on it. Some people said they were really jittery. I was not jittery. I did get, now I will say that when I would transition doses, so when I would go from the starter dose to the 7.5, and then at one point I did go up to the 11 for a month and a half. As I transitioned that first week, I did get irritable. So my kids annoyed me more than usual. And if I would fuss at them, my heart rate would jump. So, but nothing crazy. It wouldn't go from like 80 to 200. It would go from like 80 to 120. But as soon as I stopped, you know, being irritated, it would go right down. So that to me was not dangerous and was not anything, you know, worth stopping for. And after a week, it was right back to normal. My heart rate would stay 80, you know, regardless. Those were my only issues. I didn't have hot flashes. You know, some people say that they have pins and needles type feelings, and you know, in their fingers. Never really had that. My son's behind me staring. Don't come out here. So some people say they had constipation. Like, did not have that problem. Like, I didn't have any of the problems that some people say that they had. So I guess it just depends on you and what your side effects could be. A lot of side effects are going to be mitigated by drinking the water that you're supposed to drink. Now for me, I drink Diet Coke. I'm not going to give up to my Diet Coke. I did drink the amount of water that I was supposed to drink, but I also drink Diet Coke. Please don't comment on my videos telling me that it's going to kill me, because I'm not going to quit drinking it. I'll just delete your comment. I am going to drink Diet Coke. I'm a registered nurse. I've been a nurse for 13 years. I actually retired in 2016. I have my own cosmetics company. Sorry, my own cosmetics business. My son is dancing behind this and trying to distract me. He's going to be in big trouble after this. But yes, I retired in 2016. I have a significant wealth of scientific knowledge, and I am going to continue to drink my Diet Cokes. So that was kind of the thing that I needed to... Sorry. The one thing that I do suggest is people, it says do not drink alcohol while you're on it. I do suggest you not drink alcohol while you are on it. So what other things you can expect? So when you start your starter dose, you are really not going to feel anything those first 2 weeks that you're on the starter dose. You're not going to feel less hungry for the most part. So what I suggest is, if you want to kickstart your weight loss those first 2 weeks, track your calories. So I stayed around 1,100 calories those first 2 weeks. Really watch, you know, increase your water intake, really track your calories. Then when you go to the 7.5, it's not instant. It's going to be about day 4, day 5 before you realize, hey, I'm a little bit less hungry. So watch what you're eating then. It was about day 5 where I was like, oh wow, I noticed that I'm less hungry. So, or I would eat something and then I noticed I was full faster. Now what you have to do to make sure that you lose weight is, if you have a habit of eating past full, that has to stop. You have to take advantage of the benefits of the medication. And the medication is, it makes you feel full faster. So you have to allow that to happen, and you have to kind of take advantage of that. So when you feel full, push the food away, because it does help with your willpower. You will have that little boost of willpower to be able to push that food away. So do that. The 7.5, like, I didn't weigh myself that whole first month, and I went into my first weigh-in and I was like, oh, I'm not going to have lost anything. I lost 12 pounds the first month, and I went into the weigh-in thinking I wasn't going to have lost anything. So I was really surprised at that. So I lost 12 the first month, 10 the second month, and then it was about, you know, 3 to 5 pounds each month after that. So, and that's about normal. So you'll lose more, you know, the most your first couple of months. Just stick with it. I did not do a specific diet while I was on it. I kind of did intermittent fasting, and I did calorie counting. Now, I got to the point where I was, I had no appetite, so I ended up being actually nutritionally deficient, and so my hair started to get really thin. So I suggest everybody take a vitamin, take a hair, skin, and nails vitamin when they do Qsymia. Start it right away to help your hair not get thin and help you, because you will start to shed. You will start to, your hair will get a little bit thinner as you start to lose weight. So take a hair, skin, and nails vitamin or biotin, and take collagen peptides. Those really do help. I use Dr. K collagen peptides. You can get it on Amazon. It's a canister. I recommend mixing it in a hot beverage. That helps it taste better than with a cold beverage. And then there's also something called, I believe it's called Specifique. It's by, I want to say it's by L'Oreal. No, not L'Oreal. I'd have to look. I think it's called Specifique. It's in a silver box. They're these little vials. You put a little cap on it and you mix it and you dump it in your hair and you go like this. So if you do start to have like a lot of shedding, that is it's a 10-day treatment that you put into your scalp, and that will help slow down the hair loss. That helped tremendously because I did get very nutritionally deficient for a while. And then I realized what was going on, and so what I would do is I would really track my calories because I just was not hungry. Like, I was so not hungry that just eating, I was like, I cannot eat another bite. And my husband would be like, you've only eaten 2 bites. I'm like, I just can't eat. So I would track what I was eating, and if I was under, 800 or 900 calories, I would make a shake and I would put in, lots of collagen powder because that has protein in it and it's good for your hair. So, I would just kind of pack it with good stuff to kind of give me a boost, because you don't want to starve yourself, because then that's just as dangerous as weighing too much. So, another thing is when you lose all of your weight and then you transition off of the medication, so do not go cold turkey. Please don't go cold turkey because that can be very dangerous. Wean yourself off, with the help of the person that prescribes it for you. Wean yourself off and follow what you had been doing when you were on it. Listen to your body. So your appetite will come back, but when you are full, push the food away. Do not have one time where you eat past full. I don't care if your mouth is still hungry. Push it away. You have to follow those same cues or else you will gain the weight back. So I have been able to maintain mine just by, okay, I know that before a 4-piece kids meal from Chick-fil-A filled me up. That is enough food for me. So even if if I'm ravenous and we're going to Chick-fil-A, and whereas before I would get a 12 count, now I'm getting a 4 count, and I know that a kid's meal is enough to fill me up. So when we go out to eat Vietnamese, instead of getting the giant bowl of pho, I get the appetizer bowl and a spring roll. And even though sitting down, I'm like, I feel like I could eat so much more. Once I eat that, I'm like, I'm plenty full. So you have to just break those habits. Let the Qsymia do its job. Let it work. Develop those habits of eating, of recognizing what fills you up, and then carry that after you lose all of the weight. Okay, I hope this is helpful. If you have more questions, feel free to reach out. I'm happy to talk about it. I am an open book about this. Trying to think if there's anything else I can give you that would be helpful. I don't think so. I have to close, so. Anyway, I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please reach out. Bye.